Alright, my goal here is we got to take out a sticky anode rod. And the biggest problem I encountered while trying to do that was as I applied force in the counterclockwise direction, the whole tank would start rotating and I was not able to hold it back. I would try squeezing it with my body and I was not able to produce enough torque. So what you could do here is you could buy a strap like so. It has to be the ratcheting kind that you can ratchet and tighten nice and snug. And now you've created an anchor point for the tank. And we want to cause a counter pressure that won't let the tank rotate counterclockwise. So I have some plywood. I got these scraps for free at the Home Depot and have that connect straight to the nearest wall, braced against it. And now when I provide my counter pressure, I will no longer be fought by the tank moving. This was not enough to release, so I could recommend to get what we call a cheater bar. And that would be just a steel bar. This is a 1-inch bar. And with the use of this, it's nice to have a nice platform to work on. Otherwise, you're very risk from falling from whatever you're holding on to. Safety equipment, absolutely get yourself some heavy duty gloves to avoid some damage and some eye protection. Once you've loosened it with the cheater bar, you may no longer need to use it, as you see here. It's still a little difficult to do, even with the bar in place. But once you think you can grab that, you want to get rid of this bar and attempt to loosen it without the breaker bar. So there we go. And as you can see, it's still a lot of resistance. I'd imagine there's a lot of rust there. There's some other methods people try online as using some rust dissolvers, muriatic acid, or WD-40. I'm not sure you'd want that inside your water supply, but obviously make your choice at your own risk. I finally loosened the anode, and here it is. Before you do that, obviously you want to shut off your water and open a faucet in your house to first cut off what's coming in, and second, stop what may come down from gravity if you have several stories. As you look at my anode, this should be a nice thick tubing, and it's eaten down to the core. Alright, the anode rod has arrived. I just put this one back in temporarily. As you can see, is worn down to the bone. So some recommendations that I do is if you try to put this back in, you want to put some Teflon. This one doesn't look like it had any. Probably why it was so hard to unstick. As you can see, that's what the hole looks like. Here's the new rod. The new rod will have some, as I placed a little bit of Teflon there at the very top. You don't want to do it completely through all the threads, otherwise there won't be any metal contact with the tank and you won't get that electrode action that you want to break apart the magnesium. So plain and simple, biggest thing, just make sure you have enough space. If you don't have at least 30 inches, you're probably going to need a rod that is segmented, that's in pieces. This one barely fits in here. Since my anode was just a little bit too long to be able to fit it in, it's a 30 inch one. I'm going to be hacking off about, let's see, 3/8 of an inch and see if that fits. Alright, after sawing off about 3/8 of an inch, that's what it looks like. Took about 10 minutes. I was able to fit this one in. Fits pretty snug. And time to screw that in.